So, do you have any scars? I don't mean like big, deep, emotional scars. I mean like this. You can't really see it, but I've got a scar right there. When I was younger, I was really into scars. I remember when I was little, I really wished that I had some kind of scar. I think I wanted some sort of distinguishing physical feature, because I don't have any birthmarks or anything. I think I just wanted something unique, I guess. I don't know. I was a weird kid. And naturally, over the years, I've obtained some scars, and obviously it was never very pleasant at the time, but all things considered, I'm fine with having them. I like having my scars. So when I've noticed recently that it seems like a lot of my scars are starting to fade, I've been a little bit disappointed. I think scars can be like little memory markers of, things that have happened to you, events in your life. And after all, they do become just another physical characteristic. All that said, today I want to tell you the story of how I got a couple of my scars. And if you have any interesting stories that you want to share, feel free to do so down in the comments or leave a video response. Hopefully you don't have anything too cringeworthy, but yeah, here we go. The first scar I got, as far as I know, is on my knee. There, it looked almost like a little crescent moon. That one's probably the least interesting. I got it when I was on vacation when I was really little. Every year I go with my family to South Carolina, and my brothers and some of my older cousins were out playing football in the parking lot by the places we stayed. And it's one of those parking lots where it's kind of like it's a rocky parking lot. It's not smoothly paved. It's paved, but it's paved with like rocks jutting out, like gravel just kind of paved into it. And I of course wanted to go play football with the boys, and I think I went out there and I must have fallen over and I scraped my knee pretty bad, and that's the first scar that I remember getting. My second story actually pertains to a group of scars that I got all in one incident. It's this one that I sort of showed you earlier. And there's another one on my knee, kind of on the side here. And there was, I think there might have been a little bit on my other elbow. And there was a bit here on my wrist, but that's mostly all gone. Now, these were definitely the worst. I was on vacation with my family, my mom and my brother. We're in Keystone, South Dakota, which is the town that I guess is associated with Mount Rushmore. And in Keystone, they have this really cool thing where you can take a chairlift up to the top of this hill, and you can go get lunch at this little place. There's this nice view of Mount Rushmore, and then you can take an alpine slide back down to the bottom. I don't know if everyone is familiar with what alpine sliding is, but it's kind of like sledding, only instead of on snow, you're on these like tracks that I think are plasticky or something. Anyway, the important thing to know about these particular alpine slides is that they are pretty much all turn, like it's all curves. So I was getting ready to go down the alpine slides, and my brother, my wonderful big brother, was on the track in line behind me. Now he had been saying, probably for a while, that he was going to ram into me if I went too slow behind him. Being afraid of my big brother, as any good little sister should, I wanted to go fast down that slide to make sure that he didn't come up behind me. And apparently I don't know how to properly lean with the curves on alpine slides. And I wiped out over one of the curves, and I skinned my elbow and knee and wrist and other elbow quite badly on that track surface. And I had very painful, gross gym burn-like injuries for the whole rest of the week while we were at camp. Story 3 also comes from South Dakota, at the same camp that we were going to on the other trip. Different year though, I don't think my brother was there at all. It was just a couple years ago, and I was out hiking with a group of people in my age group, I guess, for the camp. We were hiking up Outlaw Mountain. I'm not sure if that's the technical name, but I know that's what they called it. And there really was no path there. It was very much just walking through like knee-high piles of tree branches. Now for this last scar, I'm not entirely positive at what moment I got it. I didn't really notice that it was there until after, and I know my legs got really scratched up from that, and it's possible that I got my last scar from one of those branches, but it's also very possible, and maybe a bit more likely, that I got it when we were hopping over this little barbed wire fence type thing. Now, I wasn't like trespassing anywhere. It wasn't like a big chain link fence. It was just a little wooden fence with some barbed wire around it, like to keep animals on either side. I think it's probable that I scratched my hand on that. It's about there, and it's really impossible to see anymore, which I am disappointed about. I really liked it. I thought it looked cool, but now I can only see it when I look really closely, and I think it's just because I know it's there and I'm partly imagining it and I can't see it at all now because my hands are so dry. Yeah, I got a scar hopping over a barbed wire fence because I'm just that hardcore. And actually, on the way back from our hike, we were trying to come up with a good story for what took us so long because we were getting back late for lunch. We came up with this great story about how we'd been attacked by a mountain lion and how it had scratched me in the hand, and this other guy in the group had knocked it out with his water bottle, and it was a lovely story. So I got a scar from being attacked by a mountain lion and jumping over a fence, and maybe from a branch on a hike. So these have been my scar stories. Like I said earlier, feel free to leave any of your own anywhere around. I'll talk to you guys later, and if I get into any other horrific accidents, I will make sure to keep you guys informed.